everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, June 19th, 2022, little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We are all infinite souls who are timeless. So we decide to stop rushing through our lives, relax more often, and experience the richness of timelessness. We are eternal. We are really eternal souls. We are not just this body. We are pure spiritual energy, a consciousness that is beyond space and time. Do you want to instantly experience your infinite divine nature? Simply stop everything you're doing and relax deeply into the ultimate universe that is always around you right now. And remember, take your time with it because you always have an eternity ahead of you. We can celebrate the perfection that we are. You are born with a tremendous possibility of intelligence. You are born with a light within you. Listen to the still, small voice within, and that will guide you. Nobody else can guide you. Nobody else can become a model for your life because you are unique. This is your glory, your grandeur, that you are utterly irreplaceable, that you are just yourself and nobody else. We are absolutely perfect just as we are. We don't need to do anything, have anything, be with anyone, or even reach some lofty, dreamy goal to find perfection inside. The truth is that we are perfect because an inherent nature is divine. Our inherent nature is divine. At the innermost core of every atom is perfection. This universe is the divine, perfect existence. We are a part of this universe. So we are part of the perfection. Give in to this perfection, and you will feel a whole heck of a lot better. The only reason we may not experience this perfection every day is because the mind has been playing games with us. It has been comparing, judging, scheming, trying, and focusing obsessively on all the many flaws, problems, and imperfections it is imagining. Wake up and be aware. Even though the mind may believe in these imperfections, doesn't mean they exist. It's always your choice to live in this delusional reality of the mind or not. The perfection is always there, especially when the mind cannot see it. The mind can only perceive imperfections by narrowing its focus, and this focus stops it from seeing, feeling, and experiencing the greater whole. Once the mind completely surrenders to existence, then the perfection is realized. Yet, you must choose to dive all the way to the center of the mind, beneath your core beliefs that say you must do X, Y, Z to be loved, wealthy, healthy, and happy. The mind can only perceive imperfections by narrowing its focus, and this focus stops it from seeing, feeling, and experiencing the greater whole. Once the mind completely surrenders to existence, then the perfection is realized. Yet, you must dive all the way into the center of the mind, beneath your core beliefs that say you must do X, Y, Z to be loved, wealthy, healthy, and happy. The moment you undermine a core belief, you release it and instantly connect back with the perfection of existence. The moment you undermine a core belief, you release it and instantly connect back with the perfection of existence. The mind narrows so that it can, in one moment, open up to the infinite universe with you at its center. The day you've transcended all your core beliefs, you're realizing the perfection has always been inside you, because you'll be seeing it everywhere on the outside. Everything is truly perfect. All positive and negative feelings, thoughts, and experiences are perfect in themselves. They are like colors on a palette. Each emotion has a different color, energy, and frequency to it. Wouldn't the world be a dull, sad place if you decided that half of the colors on the palette were not acceptable and got rid of them? What would the world be like if the color blue or green was blinded from your eyes? Just as the diversity of colors on the planet makes life exceptionally beautiful, so does your palette of feelings. Every experience you have contributes to the exquisite beauty and perfection of your life. There are many distractions that pull you from the truth of your divinity. If you are always fighting off negative thoughts or feelings, these inner demons take up your time, and you simply overlook the perfection of your divine essence. Remember, these inner saboteurs are perfect within the bigger picture. Any inner struggle against them is what is causing you suffering, and not the situation or person which triggered the negative feelings. The secret is to know yourself intimately with all of your parts, accepting whatever arises for you, be it joy, sadness, or anger, is absolutely perfect. Suffering only occurs when you try to resist, defend, hold on to, or change any feeling or thought passing through. If thoughts are like trains on train tracks, suffering would be standing on the tracks trying to stop one of them. Just allow the train to pass on by. Let your feelings and thoughts go. Just witness them as you would watch clouds moving across the clear blue sky. Every thought is to be welcomed, and none are to be feared or held onto. Every thought is to be welcomed, and none are to be feared or held onto. If or when you get attached somehow to one repetitive, stagnant thought, you eventually get wrapped up in the musty feelings that come with it, and the cycle of suffering begins. And yes, this too is perfect. Suffering is that one life lesson that is guaranteed to change the way you do life. After enough suffering, your ego becomes bored with all of the drama and is eager to enjoy another new color on the palette. It has more awareness now and is completely ready for an expansive new state of mind. Everything in existence is so absolutely perfect. If you only knew a fraction of it, you'd never make another complaint again. The negative things you see and experience in this life are not negative in nature. The mind is always interpreting everything and labeling things as good and bad, experiencing this grand perfection around you and inside you occurs the instant you transcend this labeling machine. When you finally relax into what exists beneath the mind, the walls come down and you start seeing the perfection of existence. It is time to remove the veil of delusionment and start celebrating the perfection of who you truly are. If you just can't see it inside or outside your body, simply focus on the energy and quality of nature. Nature is perfect and will eventually open your eyes to it. Meditate on the perfection of all the animals, clouds, oceans, plants, the sky, stars, and existence. This is what you are connected to on the most intimate levels. When you finally surrender to nature in your outer world, it's easy to find your divinely perfect nature in your inner world. So start celebrating the perfection around you and inside you this week by jumping up and down every morning shouting, "I am perfect, and so is this universe." Do this for a few minutes every morning this coming week until you feel the joy within you spilling over and flooding your room. Use this jumping for joy technique anytime you're feeling stuck in a rut, closing your heart off in a relationship, shutting down emotionally, or judging yourself for any reason. Don't try to stop the heavy, hard feelings from arising. Allow them to rise and jump for joy. That their departure is also part of the perfection. Every time you leap off the ground with joy, your sense of knowing this perfection inside you will grow. And one day, you will know in your heart of hearts that you are an absolutely perfect being in every way who is the most magnificent light shining brilliantly onto the world, to this world. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies we're in. We are not the body. We are not the mind. We are not the ego. We are not the character. We are not the personality. We are not the status. We are the God within these bodies. Always have been, always will be, ever beyond and forever, in any physical form. So we focus on our breath because the body is a magnet. It's a sponge magnet. It absorbs everything. All of our emotions, all of our challenges, all of everything we experience in this life, that body absorbs it. We store tension, we store stress, we store fear, we store it all. Emotionally, somewhere within the body, on the body. So focusing on the breath, easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth, allows you to leave the mind and the ego alone and leave the subconscious mind alone. The subconscious mind is our great hall. It stores everything. Every experience. When you enter that baby body, and that point forward, everything. Some things you don't even know that it records. Not only does it record this lifetime, it's recorded all past lifetimes. So you begin to and then what it does, it plays it back on occasion. It plays it back. It's like you're doing something and it seems very familiar to you, right? You ever done that? Some people say deja vu, whatever. But it's because the subconscious mind is playing back a session or experience in this life that you've had, or maybe some past life. That's why it seems so familiar to you. So when we still these through the breath is absolutely magical, omnipotently powerful. We take our breath for granted, of course, until something happens and causes our attention to be drawn to it. But we've used the breath for a lot of things. Children get upset and they get overwrought. We ask them to focus on their breath. Slowly and easily take breaths in and out the mouth. It's the same with any of us. We focus on the breath. We concentrate on calming the body, relaxing the body, letting go. And the breath is used to strengthen us, focus us, concentrate things, ease us. So every single time you focus on the breath, you're in the now. And you're watching the ego mind, subconscious mind. You're not judging it. You're watching it. This is the only way you can master them. It's the only way. And see, then you begin to understand how they operate. So that when you have thoughts that the ego mind generates, you'll be able to identify that's an ego thought. Or this, I'm feeling an ego response. And you go and you focus on your breath, and that vanishes. And you've moved yourself into the now. And no matter how much the ego mind argues with you, the now is all we have. None of us have any guarantee that we're going to wake up tomorrow morning. None of us. 100% positive that we're going to wake up tomorrow morning. So it's the now is all we have. Now, the ego mind doesn't exist in the now. It's not there. Neither does the subconscious mind. They're stilled. Also, we all put out over 60,000 thoughts apiece every 24 hours. Now, we're not super mindful of our thoughts, and we don't master our thoughts. So we aren't aware of how many we send to the universe that the universe responds to. This is where something comes into your life that where did that come from? Then we have the mind chatter, right? That's not there anymore in the now. And we also have tens of millions, even billions of thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky. Now, 99.999% of these thoughts are not ours. We call them programs. And it's important for us to concentrate on being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times. Being the highest of the highest I, the deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest. Eternal gratitude. Always be in gratitude. It is the gateway to the God within you. Always maintain deep, eternal gratitude. You can always find things to be grateful for. You never cannot. You always can. It's focusing on it. So when we're in the now and we float off, because we all do. None of us are exempt from it. We float off. We don't do it intentionally. It's not a bad thing. We float off. But to be aware that you can say, okay, so I floated off, not a big deal. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now every single time. It's good to have that understanding. And so the more we practice it, the more we gravitate to being in the now. And when you're in the now, you're in the heart mind, not the head. And you know when you drop into the heart mind, center of the chest. You feel it. And it seems like everything around you is not there. The rushing of thoughts, the ego mind, the pushing, the straining, the gripping, the clawing, the grabbing is not there. It's gone. And as you're moving yourself into a state of being, there's no yesterday and there's no tomorrow. There's only the now. Now, of course, we've been trained as a civilization for very many, many, many decades, centuries, and millennia to not be in the now, to always be in the future, the tomorrow, or the past, the yesterday. And the reason that is because the ego mind controls us, it masters us. And it directs us because it doesn't exist in the now. So it's going to do everything it can to keep you out of the now. And if someone were to ask you, we're trained to go out there, seek, and you shall find, and you know, climb and crawl and struggle and pull and get to the top of life. That's how we've been trained, generation after generation. And in reality, it's the opposite. Going within, understanding your true vibrational frequency of the God that you are, and the abundance universe sends is unending in the form of opportunities and situations and all kinds of opportunities that all we have to do is embrace. So they're presented to us in the now. Now picture yourself, all of us standing in front of three paths. Now, we're in the center path, the now. And we look to our left, that's yesterday, path. Look to our right, that's tomorrow's path, past, future. And we notice that all three of these paths pretty much look the same. The trees have formed a golden canopy over each path, shimmering. Tree, the bark, leaves. The path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. We do notice, however, that the path on the left, yesterday, it looks really worn, like it's been used a lot. Same with the path on the right, tomorrow, future. Now, we all go into the past, we reminisce. You know, we kind of briefly visit things that we've experienced in this life. And we review them and enjoy it. Could be any time they come in, any time. You could be sitting, you could be walking, you could be traveling. You could be listening to a song. They come in. So we have this great hall. It's a tremendous resource center, not just for this life, but all lives. And each one of us have access to this great hall. So we'll go in, open the door, turn on the light. And when you walk into a room, you don't realize it, but within a blink of the eye, you scan the ceilings and the walls. You go into the great hall, and you do that, but you don't see any walls or ceilings because it's so vast. Nonetheless, you go to the shelves and the drawers, and you pick out some movies and some books and some pictures. And you get an easy chair. In front of you is just like this white screen floating. So you watch some of the movies and you read some of the books and you look at some of the pictures. You know, there's times that we've experienced in our past lives where, in this life, in the past, where we've done something, tried a certain approach to it and it didn't work. And then we know that we can say, well, we'll try a different way to see if that works. So it's quite a handy reference library for our lives. And so we'll put everything away in its proper place, and we'll turn the light off, and we'll leave, and we'll move forward in life, and on occasion revisit it. Some of us, however, unconsciously stay there so long that they end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past, reliving that past and that future. This is why there's a lot of people out there that say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we all go into the future. Why are we pulled into the future? Why is that? You ever feel that pull, wanting to know beyond the now? And the ego mind's poking you and pushing you, inching you. You know, get it. You got to know this. You can go into the future and know this. Find out. So we'll go into the future and we ask questions and we want to know things. We're curious. And we have a lot of external authorities that do that. You have psychics, you've got clairvoyants, you've got astrologers, you have card readers, tea leaf readers, palm readers, pendulum readers. I mean, we've got so many avenues. And some of us will go to one of these folks and ask them for information. I want an answer to this question. The question is when am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? This is one of the main ones that's asked. And so you might get out a deck of cards, tarot cards. You might do a palm reading, a crystal reading, all kinds of avenues that you can use. And so they tell the person, well, in 3 weeks this is going to happen for you. It's going to be a windfall. It's going to come out of nowhere. But there's different responses to that. And it depends on how you look at it, how you believe in it, as far as it's manifested. Now, some people will look at it and just kind of, okay. Other people will look at it and they'll be deeply grateful for the information on what's going to happen for them and not to them. And so they focus it, they state it, and they let it go. They have total trust in themselves and total trust in the universe. Now the other one, the third person will go, well, this is, wow, they'll put the date down on the calendar. They'll fixate on it. They'll constantly visit it. They'll form attachments to the outcome of it and have many different expectations of it. It won't happen for them. Right? But the one who intended it and repeated it and sent it out with great confidence and trust in the universe, it will happen. See, because they don't care when. They're not focused on timeline, when it's got to happen now. They don't have attachments or any expectations. They just know that it will come into reality. Because all manifesting is that we take energy, we move it into form, we create it into reality, and we experience it. See, now the center path that we're on the now, focused on our breath, none of that carries any weight. We just know. And we know through the heart mind, not the head, not the ego mind. So we're very confident that whatever we intend to the universe will manifest. Then we have parts of ourselves. Some of the parts of the gods that we are stone cold asleep. Other parts are awake. We love both of those parts deeply and eternally. And we all are one, and so it doesn't matter what physical form you inhabit to give the illusion of separation. It doesn't register. What registers is that you know that you are, the God within you, is absolutely the part of the God within everything. So that illusion of separation floats away, disintegrates. When you look at a deer or a cow or a horse or a dog or a cat, the God within that physical form is part of the God within your physical form. It is a fact. One supreme consciousness, pure consciousness, in all things. So, like when we talk about the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, Amoria, Bendantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. They inhabited physical form. They hold pure God form, pure consciousness. Their God's part of our God, the God that we are. It's like we're all Buddhas, and we are. We're all Maitreyas. We're all Kuan Yins to varying degrees of understanding. It's like the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. The God within their body is part of the God within our body. Vice versa. Always has been. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, are garth and beneath her. The God within them and their physical forms is part of the God within us and our physical forms. It's knowing this through the heart-mind for this civilization to discover, or if you will, rediscover. All the off-worlders, galactic celestials, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, A Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. They all have gods within them. And those gods are part of the gods within us. Once you begin to understand this, you understand that there is no separation. The body gives us the illusion of separation. That's all it is, an illusion. It's like the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Many, many, many more. All the gods in their physical forms are part of the gods in our physical forms, and vice versa. And all the gods in all things are divine perfection, and that's the only thing that doesn't change. Everything else changes, constant. So we look at this planet, and it's our intent, the gods that we are, that are awake to a certain extent, that we eliminate all of the lower dark matter, vital matter frequencies, all of the souls that have been invaded with too much darkness, the pure evil, the AI, the rogue AI, all of it. Vaporize. What do we use for that? Deep eternal love. Highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all God, and we're all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now we immediately form a massive circle of white fire light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of white fire light emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies, pure, deep, eternal love. And it is saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet 24/7, infinity and beyond. So we begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with an ocean of glitter. To best describe this ocean of glitter, we take things that we're aware of and we've experienced on this planet in the now. The grand finale fireworks display, the grand finale laser light show, the ballroom globe, which you shine light on it, and the mirrors that are on it reflect the light and flood the room. We take all three of these and we intensify them a trillion times. And in one massive crescendo, one magnificent burst of light, multicolored, sparkling everywhere, nearly describes the ocean of glitter. Now, we look at the reflective points in this ocean of glitter, which are everywhere. And we get close up to them, we notice these perfectly etched microscopic mirrors that we enter. We enter them and we discover that all of us, all of the gods that we are, in all the physical forms, are teaching and learning from each other infinity and beyond. Now, those of us who are seduced by the material physical world, where we are always outside of ourselves, will miss most of that, if not all. Those of us who decide to go within and practice being in the now and in deep gratitude won't miss it, because we'll automatically gravitate to wanting to know what it's like to be these physical forms and what are they teaching us. Your pet, your dog, your cat, your bird, whatever, teach you. They show you things. And when you're in tune within the now, you'll learn from them about yourself. And I'm sure you remember when you were a kid, a child, you'd look at things and say, I wonder what it'd be like to be that. I want to be that. I want to be a cow or a horse. What would it be like to be that building? We still have that imagination. We just kind of buried it as the body grew older. But you could focus in the now with your breath. You look at something that you wonder what it would like to be that, and you will, in a brief moment, know what it's like exactly to be whatever the physical form is that you're drawn to. How could we ever get bored with these lines? How could we not stay in the deepest of eternal gratitudes all the time? Now, we create columns of light, the gods that we are, to remind us of things. So we're met with Archangel Raphael, who carries a brilliant emerald green flaming light, healing light. And this is to remind us, the gods that we are, that literally the gods that we are in these bodies are the power of healing these bodies. Then we have Archangel Michael with the violet, blue, purple flaming light. And this is to remind us, the gods that we are in these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white firelight. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are, that these bodies are protected from head to toe, inside and out, this white fire armor, way beyond the armor that you would depict on this planet. And this white fire armor comes from the God that you are in that body, the pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. So, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, pure evil, demon possession, attachments, don't exist. They can't hold their form near us when we have that vibrational frequency and we maintain it. They can't come near us. If they do, they'll vaporize, so they stay away. We're protected infinity and beyond. But only you have the power. Only you. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, consciously or unconsciously, low enough, through through hatred, anger, revenge, dishonesty, manipulation, hurriedness, envy, fear, worry, stress, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, then there's all kinds of possibilities of demon possession, attachments, and other things. We put in fail-safes, the gods that we are. And so if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. This reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Then we are met with the second part of the column, the violet ray. This reminds us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that the gods that we are within these bodies created to remind us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees and the forest and the soils. We are the clouds and the skies. We are the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. And we're everything. Now, of course, through the illusion of separation, we believe that we're all separate, right? So when we see a sunset, we normally would say, isn't that beautiful? But when we look at it from the heart mind, in the now, and we realize that there is just the illusion of separation, that's the God that I am. No matter what it is that you are amazed with, that's the God that I am. And this is always through the heart mind, not the head, not the ego, not the heart, not the ego mind. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us, those of us carrying physical form, decide to step outside the physical form and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because we can, and it is fun. Now we come across this massive crystalline light tower. The gods within these bodies that we are created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Now in the center of the tower, we discover this massive oblong sphere with this humongous, in the center of it, golden white bowl of light. It in turn is surrounded by multiple colored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. In turn, this creates a massive, super bright white, like a mist, a cloud of reflecting and flashing, and it's absorbed into our heart mind. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We discovered that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, massive abundance. And we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, we designed the top of the column so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity beyond, saturating, flooding, and permeating this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in universes, endlessly. What is the golden ocean? Golden ocean is pure, deep, eternal love. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere. The gods that we are within these bodies created this meditative sphere over 4 years ago. It holds nearly 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion. Every day, hundreds of millions of us awake, consciously aware, meaning that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And we're focused on this planet. And we're focused on it because we don't care to have these lower frequencies permeating it anymore. We want to create a God planet paradise instead, a new earth. And this is what we're doing in a highly accelerated direction. Now, all these meditations grow, strengthen, and expand, saturating this entire planet on and in and above and below it. All life, the highest supreme value in universes. That's why the sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to expand, strengthen, and grow, and intensify. Now, if you want to see what's actually happening on the planet, you can plug into it anytime you choose, through meditation, through focusing on your breath and being in the now, and deep gratitude. So when you watch it, the gods that we are, what we created is an atmosphere of a golden, white, pink, shimmering atmosphere. This atmosphere is pure, deep, eternal love. So we look and we see all of this black goop, and it looks like it's evaporating from the planet, every surface, everywhere. And it's the AI rogue goop, it's the pure evil, it's the souls that have been invaded with too much darkness. And we watch it as it goes through this shimmering that you see through, this golden, white, pink light atmosphere. And it's flashing away. It's little flashes, and you see it dissipating as it evaporates from the planet. And then we create this sky canopy of golden, white, pink light that's super bright. And any of this goop, the blackest of the blackest black that you've ever seen, that reaches that sky in one flash is literally vaporized forever. And that's what's happening on the planet, everywhere. And you can see it anywhere you choose, anytime you choose. Whenever you find yourself in a slow, tired, or full state of energy, imagine a bright golden light is coming from every vertebrae in your spine. It is sending light out in every direction. It blasts straight up into the sky, into the earth below you, and in all four directions, totally surrounding you. Visualize the golden light as the source of love, and let yourself feel, believe, and know I am the source of love. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out the mouth. Be still. When you're ready to take on a new challenge, you are ready for self-inquiry. Start by meditating on the question, who am I? Conscious introspection can lead to enlightenment. So dive into yourself. Ask yourself questions all day long like, who is watching now? Who is hearing this? Who is experiencing this body? Notice what thoughts your mind creates as an answer to this question. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here Monday, June 20th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation